Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I am your host, Tashir Rasay. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to 123 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Shout out to my man, Gemini 4D, for that intro. We'll be using that for a few weeks and then moving on to something else. What are we doing? So I wanted to shake things up a little bit, almost drastically, some people would say. You know me, I'm all about a challenge. I'm all about doing things differently, stepping outside the box, those kind of things. And what I gave the people this week is, I think it's going to be one of my favorite assignments, because we've done it once before. And I think the crew from this year is going to make it much better than the last time. But I'm from Detroit, as a lot of you know, born and raised, been here all my life. And there's a certain type of music that we innovated in Detroit, techno. Some would say house, but I know that's more of a Chicago, Baltimore kind of thing, and that's cool. But as far as, you know, techno and the early electronic music, it's from here. You know, it's from the Belleville 3. And I am a huge fan of techno and electronic music in general. And there's one thing that spans all of those genres for the most part, with the exception of like D&B. And that is the drum pattern that is known as 4 on the floor, or if you're in Europe or the UK, 4 to the floor. And that's that boom, 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 you know, that thing. And I came up with this idea and I said this would be a very cool idea to do this, to actually have not necessarily an electronic track, but take that drum pattern and then do what you do with it. You know, be it sample based, be it organic, hip hop, R&B, whatever. And just because it has that pattern does not make it electronic. It's going to be whatever genre it is, though it's over that boom, 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 boom. So I gave it to the people. We actually have 11 submissions this week that I'm very eager to get to. Starting off with a gentleman that took a week off because I think he's in a totally different state, in a different school now. So shout out to my man, LB3. Let's see what he's doing. Yes. LB3, my man. Back for 123. Yes, sir. He went the more electronic route, and that's totally fine. But that worked perfectly, man. And I know LB is from Detroit. So, again, that all plays into it, man. But this track was dope. And he kept it relatively short. It's only at 2 minutes. But yeah, I like where he went with this joint. Like, again, he did go electronic, and that's totally fine. He didn't have to. But I like the elements that he used in this joint. The other thing I really appreciate is he actually switched up the pattern. You don't necessarily have to keep the 4 on the floor throughout the entire thing, but you know me, I'm all about change ups and fill-ins, different sections of the song and different evolutions. You know what I'm saying? The song should evolve. And I feel that's what the song did with his. I like the synths and effects and whatnot that he used. Definitely like the way he used the kick with the 4 on the floor. I'd like the swing. I like everything about this track. And again, knowing whose son he is, it's like, okay, cool. This is perfect. But LB3, my man, that was very, very nice. Way to open the show, my dude. Thank you, sir. All right, we're going over to my man, OK Joey. Let's see what he's doing this week.
Me hot
OK Joey doing his thing for this week. Pretty cool beat. Pretty cool. It's a couple things I definitely need to point out. One, this definitely needed a bass line of some type. It definitely needed a bass line. It needed a bass line of some type. Even if it was just quarter notes, boom, something like that. And maybe going up and down the scale a little bit, that would have been cool just to add a little more low end to it, a little bit more umph to it. The other thing is, well, it's actually, now that I think about it, there's 3. This needed a little more swing. It was kind of tight, kind of restricted in the way that everything hit, especially like the percussion, because it was like, where it could have been, something like that. The other thing is Joey is in this habit of, I'm going to pick these few sounds that I'm going to use, and he uses just those sounds throughout the entire track. He will change up and give you, a different pattern or two, but it sounds the same because he's still using the exact same sounds, and in most cases, almost the same pattern. that's the whole purpose of a change up is to switch things up, to keep it exciting, to, get to a part where somebody's face just changes because it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. That's where, the different sections and the evolution of the track comes in. This is a cool beat. It definitely needs work. Like I said, the bass line, the swing, definitely could use, more instruments that are coming in and out, not just, if you have percussion that's hitting on 3 and 4, not just changing it to 2 and 4, if you're going to go to a different pattern. That type of stuff you have to take in consideration when you're doing that kind of thing. Other than that, Joey is still working and continuing to grow every week. We just got to get him. We got to get him in that mentality where he stops using the exact same, the few sounds that he just chooses from the beginning and then just switch the pattern slightly. Got to do a little more than that, my man. But we're working on it. And thanks for participating this week, my man. All right, coming back to Metro Detroit. My man, No One, Let's go.
Magic.
You work for it.
Magic.
You work for it.
I see you, man. No One, doing his thing. Yeah, he went completely techno with that joint. Detroit techno. That's crazy. And again, didn't have to. Did not have to. I will give him major props, though, because it's almost like he borrowed elements from very well-known Detroit techno songs. And, like the bass line kind of remind me of a couple of things, and definitely the hits, that, and it was like one other part. Yeah, this dude, he expressed that in the submission that, when he saw the post go out for the WHA, he's like, he got to work to this immediately, being from Detroit. I'm telling you, it's a way of life around here. We love this stuff. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, this is Memorial Day weekend, and we actually have the Movement going on, which is our electronic music festival. That's funny how that works. I wasn't even thinking about that. Wow, that's crazy. If you've never heard of the Movement, trust me, look it up. There's a lot of footage on the net from different companies, different vendors, different artists who perform there every year from around the world. It's pretty damn cool. I've been several times and performed there a couple of times myself. Anyhow, back to the track. Very dope. I like what he did with it. Very, very dope. Props on that. The only thing I can say here, definitely I feel it needed a little more variation. And I realized as it got towards the end what it really needed as far as variation. The vocal parts could have definitely been dropped out at some points to where you didn't hear them for like 4 to 8 bars or something like that. They kind of went throughout. They were, not going throughout the entire time, which is cool because that would have driven me crazy. But it got very close because it's like, okay, this is cool. Can we maybe use some other vocal parts in this, in this? But that's about the only thing I can say. Is like, the vocal parts could have been dropped out, and different ones could have been used if you wanted to keep that concept going. Definitely another pattern or two, but I love how this thing worked out. I really, really, really liked it. Definitely something for the club, something for the car. If you're into that kind of thing in your car, yeah, I enjoyed this one. Very, very nice, my man. Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to go out to the Midwest. I'm eager to hear this one. Holla at my dude, Dixie Freely. Let's see what he's doing. Dixie Freely, St. Louis represent, yo. Woo! That was fire. I love that one. That's my favorite joint so far this week. Holy crap, that was dope. Now, let's get this out of the way. That and more, instead of more of a 4 on the floor, that was like a 1-2, if I'm not mistaken. That's what they call it, with a kick snare. But that's fine. That's totally fine. I'll accept it because the whole point of doing this particular assignment was to change up everybody's drum patterns, from what they normally do. So I'll accept the 1-2 because it turned out very dope. Very dope. This joint, he went so 80s with it. The other thing I really liked, and this is the other point I wanted to drive home, is like I said, you didn't have to do like an electronic type track, you know what I'm saying? Almost like a techno or house kind of thing. You didn't have to. I wanted to see people do more of what they do just over this different drum pattern. Because trust me, it can be done. At the same time, with that, you didn't have to do the normal tempo, which is like 100 plus. Normally around 120, but definitely most people, because I want to say Joey probably might have been around 100. But yeah, anyhow. But I love how he brought the tempo down. He took it back to the 80s. That joint is so 80s, yo. So 80s. So 80s to the point where this dude used Linn drums. And how I know for a fact it was Linn drums and not just any 80s type studio or not, electronic drums was when it broke down around the 112, 115, somewhere in that area. You hear that boom, ta-ta, doom, doom, ta-ta. Oh, dude, that was so ill. Shout out to Prince, because Prince was a Linn drum master, dude. Good Lord. But this is what I'm talking about. Just switching it up, doing something different. Because we do hip hop, but we don't always have to do hip hop type things. There's a reason why. Perfect example is a reason why one of the most hip hop producers of all time, DJ Premier, was able to work with Christina Aguilera. Let's be real. So, yes, this right here, I love the synths. I love the pattern. I love that bass line. That's what I'm talking about. Dixie, Freely, my man. You did it, sir. Thank you. That was dope. All right, we're going to head over to my man who's been killing it the entire time he's been back. My dude, Ray Jean. Let's get into it. This dude has lost his damn mind. Dog, like I said before, Dixie was with us not at the beginning, but definitely within that first year up until that second year sometime. And then he left. And over that time, I don't know what the hell has happened to him, but he was dope back then. But you can tell he was still developing himself, his style and, his music, his craft. But now, I don't know what happened over that last couple of years that he's been away, and now that he's back, this dude has been clowning every week. This is dope, man. This dude's patterns and the sounds and everything that he used are on point. I gotta give a special shout out to his mixing. His mixing is for real. It's incredible, dude. Sounds great. Everything looks good. The wave is on point. I'm looking at the wave right now, and everything fits perfectly. It's not squashed. It's not too low or soft. Everything has a presence. Like he had stuff panning left and right, some synths and pads and whatnot. This dude knows what the hell he's doing. I love it. I love it. I love it. And obviously he's just here for the challenge because the music is there. He's here to be challenged and to build the catalog by having different types of music. And you know what? That's completely fine. I have zero issue with that. In fact, I encourage it. But dog, everything about this joint was on point, especially when he had that joint break down around the 135, and then it went into the trap joint for, I don't know, maybe 16 bars, and then brought it back to the original main pattern. That's what I'm talking about, man. Create a damn song, create some music. Just don't create a beat. As I said last week, a beat is 4 or 8 bars. Actually, it doesn't even have to be that. It can just be 2 bars. My man, Ray G, my dude, killing it. Please continue. Thank you, dude. All right, I'm going to head over to the West Coast right now. Holla at my guy, Ray D 3000. That's what I'm talking about right there. Woo! Yo, Ray Diesel, my man. He's one person I definitely wanted to hear. When I saw his submission come in over the last couple of days, I was like, okay, here we go. Because as I said last week, Ray is a synth nut. He's more of a synth nut than I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm still more sample based, and I do, I try to integrate the organic. Whereas Ray, in most cases, he's completely organic, but he's a synth nut, and what he does with his stuff, man. The joint he did last week, and then you listen to this one. Good Lord. Also, just like myself, I know he just got the Arturia V collection, so I'm wondering if he actually used that within this track. Either way, track is dope. That's what I'm talking about. Brought the tempo down a little bit, and he did what he does. That's what I wanted right there. Woo! That joint, it's definitely a West Coast joint. It really is. I love that. Matter of fact, kind of reminds me of Dame Funk. To be honest, it kind of puts me in the mind of some of the stuff that I've heard from Dame Funk, and I'm not going to lie and say that I'm a huge Dame Funk fan. That I've heard a lot of his music. I'll say it like that. But what I have heard, that puts me in that mood, like I'm listening to something from him, or there's some other people who are along these lines as far as music. Again, doesn't have to be 120 or above, man. You can bring that joint below and do what you do. That's what I'm talking about. Ray D is a nut, especially I think it was around the 112. He had that fill in. That was sick. My man, Ray D. Thank you, sir. Oh, as always. All right, let's head down south. Holla at my man, DJ Lockturnal. Let's go. Charleston, South Carolina. DJ Lockturnal, the great. Good Lord, dude. Again, every time you listen to a Lock track, I would say definitely this year, this dude he brings such an energy to his music to where, we could have, and it's not like this, but let's just say everything in the podcast is kind of dark and deep and, and then Lock comes through and he just kind of brightens the mood. It's like the sun comes up and it's a clear sky. Birds are out chirping, kids are playing. Dude, once again, this is what I'm talking about right here. Brought the tempo down. And Lock went and did what he does over that pattern. Still more of a 1-2, but it worked perfectly. And then the different elements this dude had. The drums, beautiful. He picked beautiful drums. And that's the one thing I wanted to say to Joey. Definitely got to improve the drum sounds. Gotta get some stronger sounds in general. Not just drums, but stronger sounds in general. But Locke picked beautiful samples. I love the drums he used, and then he used like some nice gating and reverb on them joints. Bass line, dope. High synth and like somewhat of an arpeggiation in there, dope. But the piano sample, the chords, the way he used them joints. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God, that was dope. Then there was like a Vox type instrument in there. I don't know if it was a vocoder. I doubt it. But it was like a Vox in there, like a robotic a voice sounding kind of instrument in there, synth. That was dope. I mean, everything about this track, man. Good Lord. Locke is just... I'm done. Locke, my dude, coming through as usual, man. Mad love for you, bro. Big time. Thank you. All right, let's go holla at my man, Taurus Beats. This dude, Taurus, man. You know what? I'm going to borrow what he said the other night in the Hangouts. And he said something in reference, I think it was to, he was talking to about the podcast last week. That's what it was. He was talking about some, man, listening to that podcast almost made me start cursing again. And that's how I feel when I listen to his joints. I'll be sitting here like, good Lord, man. Taurus is a beast. He's a beast. And once again, he took the assignment. He made it his. He did what he does. And I absolutely love that. And I love him for it. For real, man. Love what he did with this track. He broke it down early, which was really dope. That was like a very cool part of the intro where he actually came in for like 2 bars and then broke it down entirely, taking that instead of what would be like in, let's say, the last quarter or the last third of the song. He actually put that in the beginning, and he still managed to have the track evolve throughout the track and switching up different things. The bass line was killing it. That was dope. Oh, going back to the earlier part of the song where he had the drum fill in, that was almost like drum and bass type, D&B type fill ins. That was dope. Bass line, like I said, all the synths, definitely his piano work as usual. The claps were like chorused and panned stereo. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Beautiful. Taurus, I'm done talking about you, bro. Thank you, sir. All right, let's bring it up to Detroit. Holla at my man, Show Enough. Show enough, man. Show enough. Show enough is out of his damn mind. But he's been out of his damn mind. That's the thing. Like, Show has been with us over a year now, a little over a year. And he has done nothing but, as I've said many times before, show up and show out. And this is no difference right here, dude. This track was so cold. And I love how again, it evolved because you could just look at the wave and see how this joint continues to build up. And at the end, it just goes nuts for the most part. Man, I loved everything about this one. I really did. I really did. More of a house type swing, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. I love what he did with it as far as like the I want to say Rhodes. I definitely love the Rhodes in there. It sounds so beautiful over that. He had some vocal samples he was bringing in and taking out. Other elements that he brought in. Just overall, again, a damn good feeling. It feels damn good to listen to this track. I love that. Plus, it makes you move. As I said last week, if music in general doesn't make you move, doesn't give you a variety of emotions and expressions and stuff like that, it's lame. It's that simple. And these people over at CMA, the majority of them get it. They get it. Especially this year. This crew has been incredible, dude. Also, I definitely need to point out, this is the first, not the last, hopefully. This is the first podcast we have both LB3 and Show Nuff in the lineup. So, props for that. And both of them delivered. They both came through. But man, Show, my brother. Thank you, sir. Woo, good Lord. All right, let's head over to the West Coast again. Holla at the dude, RTO Beats. Man, look. All right, so look. RTO he's in the Bay Area in California. I'm about to make a trip over there just so I can take away his damn push. We'll see if I can take his power away from him. Give him some kryptonite. Dog, this track, and, you know, let's keep it real. RTO has been killing it. Like, especially this year. He came through He's been with us a little over, well, he came through last summer, if I'm not mistaken. So let's say he's been with us about a year now. And he didn't participate much last year. He did participate, but it just wasn't as much as he has been this year. This right here, dude. Well, let me finish that point. What he's been doing, especially this year, and I think he got the push too, like right after it came out last fall, early last winter, up in that area. And since he got pushed too, he has been losing his damn mind. And not just for the WHA, just music that he's been doing in general. And I can only imagine that it's made his life easier because of the frequency in which he kicks out beats now. Like I said, not just the WHA stuff, and the quality, the complexity, the way in which he creates his beats. Now, I can only imagine that things are much easier for him, and he's in a much better place mentally and creatively. That's the only thing I can think of, because this dude has been murdering it. And again, took the beat, I'll just say the pattern, slowed it down, and did what he does with his, synth and organic type instruments, and just killed it. Jeez, man. This whole podcast is definitely getting played again for me, because this joint has been really, really, really dope this week. Good Lord. All right, yo. I'm getting sick of your stuff, man. My man, thank you, dude. All right, and closing down the podcast for the week, our man, Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace, closing out episode 123 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Illness. Jeez, that was so sick. You know what? With that, well, before I go there, let me go here. You can definitely feel that Wallace was feeling this assignment straight up, because he pulled out some tricks that I haven't seen him pull out, over the last few submissions that, is some trademarks of his, if you will. I really love when he does like this stutters. He had a nice little set of stutters going. I was around right before the 1 minute mark, somewhere in that area. Then he had his different change ups and breakdowns. Stuff was muted, stuff changed around. Love that. I love the sample. He said he used a Gato Barbieri sample. I like Gato Barbieri a lot. So to actually hear somebody use some of his music, I think that's a first for me, if I'm not mistaken, to actually hear somebody use his stuff. But man, what he did, again, tempo came down and he did Wallace. That's exactly what I wanted. He did Wallace over that pattern, and he did it beautifully. Love the drums, love the bass, of course, the sample, the couple of other elements that was in there. The way in which he just composes, I would say that. The way in which he composes has always been dope, man. Good Lord. My man. Way to kill it. And the other thing I wanted to say is with Wallace's submission, we have reached the full spectrum of this particular assignment. We have hit every aspect of it. Everybody has somewhat of a 4 on the floor, or a 1-2, which is very dope. The main thing was to change the pattern that everybody uses. We had that. We had fully electronic house type stuff. And then we came back to, in the middle of that, I should say no. On the other side of that, we have more hip hop sounding stuff, hip hop kind of R&B kind of stuff that was completely organic. And in the middle of that, wrapping it all up with Wallace, where he came with the sample-based stuff and kind of brought a little bit of everything together. Stupid. Absolutely nuts. Shout out to Mr. Wallace, RTO Beats, Show Nuff, Taurus Beats, DJ Nocturnal, Ray D3000, Ray Jean, Dixie Freely, No One You Know, OK Joey, and LB3. And also thank you, the watcher, the listener, the people who ride with us every single week. If you enjoyed the show, please hit the thumbs up button. Please share it to your social media, to everybody that you know and love, and let them know what you're listening and rocking out to every single week. And if you would like to be amongst the great talent pool that is at CMA, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It is that simple. I'm done for the week. Enjoy the rest of your week and your holiday in this case. And I will talk to you next time. See ya.